Hey everyone, I hope everybody doing fine and doing great. So today's topic will be just talk about, you know, my experience with, with the band Black. I actually Ram Your Voice conference last Friday. Was it last Friday? Yeah, last Friday. At was it last Friday? Yeah, on June the 7th. Mm-hmm. June the 7th. And it's a good event, and it made me think about you know especially having Black disabled people perspective because we need more of that, and especially talk about you know why Black disabled people voice matter and why do we deserve to be heard and seen because especially with me, being a Black autistic queer woman. And if I be honest with you, I never thought I would be an activist or even talk about intersectionality within race and disability. I would just live my own life and not think about that. And it made me think about as I got into advocacy work and learning that disability justice is pretty whitewash, and especially within the autism advocacy work, it's very whitewashed. Which I didn't know that at first. I thought okay, we had this similar disability or had disability in general. You know, talk about the ableism what we experience every day, and and understand that it is important to understand people's perspective. What I did not know at the beginning of my advocacy work, it, or learn about disability rights in general, that I didn't know that they tend to focus on a particular perspective, mostly from the white lens. And especially for that lens, it's not reflective of a Black disabled experience. And even I was oh, we fight for our right as disabled people. But at the time, I would not understand about intersectionality that much. And not understand what it meant. And as I learned about intersectionality and how different, how a person can be complex, you know, having different identities or multiple identity at one time, it's when you have a separate identity, it's less and less your voice to get heard, and less and you gonna be seen, because the narrative around a particular identity is one sided, and that's what I learned. Like you know, especially I notice every space that I in that sorry about that noise. Yeah. Um, back to what I was saying. I noticed, even learn for different spaces that I am. I'm a Black autistic queer woman, as I mentioned. I noticed, as I learn about disability rights, and talk about intersectionality, I could go through four different phrases. Okay, being a Black person. When I, educate, you know, or educate or talk about disability in Black spaces, or I talk to my family members, or in school, wherever. They do okay, blah blah blah. They kind of put to the side, why are we even talking about it? Vibe, and I'm what the beat? And also, it's especially in the Black community, it's a stigma around disability. and also including mental health because I know I'm aware of the mental health stuff. Like when we talk about mental health in the Black community, I know that a lot. Like, oh, we don't talk about mental health. That's visible. But when it comes to disability, it's like, it's like get over with it, or like you could overcome that disability, or using the model of religion, model of disability. That what going on in that community, and of course, not understand that some have a disability. They think like, oh, you could overcome that disability. Like you don't have a disability, and maybe a little denial and not understanding disability in general. And of course, even though our community, basically, have high chance to have a disability, and especially how this world work against us. Yeah. So it's sad though that especially in the Black community, is it's sad. It's a long way to go to spreading disability awareness in the disability community. In the Black community, like about disability. There's some progress, but we have a long way to go. For the being a woman, I don't think I ever discussed that side a little bit, but based on what I see, like on social media and people conversation, they tend to leave out disabled women or disabled women, you know, towards like what if they want to get married or what they want to have children of their own. Their children get taken away from them and things like that, and SI and all that jazz. And I'm sure maybe the same case, like, nah, we get it. We understand this bill, but thank like, vibe, you know. Of course, talk about racism, but I don't think I always talk about disability, but not about race. Then we go to LGBTQ plus community. When I came out 3 years ago, and this is my third year being out as a queer woman, more specific, a bisexual woman. And ever since I joined, since I was going to college at the time, my undergraduate, going to UC Greensboro, and joined a club called No Label. And I noticed that, I would talk about my experience, like, will I be, black, being, black, autistic queer woman, talk about disability. They barely like touch on, disability. They when they do that, give like a generation, like generalization about disability. It's not meaning progress. It's like when you do estimate, they don't want to talk about it. They just want to talk about, like what it like to be a queer person of color and being part of the LGBTQ plus community. They never talk about the disability part. They do a little bit, but not that much. Not really. And that's the problem. And kind of frustrating, if I be honest with you. But when in disability space, and of course we talk about disability, make sure everybody feel heard and and all that jazz. But I noticed like, better within the disability community, there are hierarchy who are the most represented. And I noticed that basically like, school life in general, it seemed like my peers who have like a physical disability or maybe visual and deaf have had the most, have visual, signs that if that person blind or someone deaf or someone have a physical disability, they have ramp and stuff like that. And when it comes to people who have invisible disability, like me, for example, autism is invisible disability, they all like, we don't believe you. I noticed that, like, people who not disabled, they're always concerned about the appearance of a disability and not in the invisible disability, which is wild. And also, when I mention about race, because I'm black and I'm disabled, when I mention about race, they're like, blah blah blah. I'm like, you gotta be effing kidding. And I notice, like, every space I go, it's like when I go in the three spaces I mentioned about disability, I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. When I go to this big space talk about race, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But I'm happy that there is space and event for black disabled people, because we need that, because especially with the disability community, it's very whitewashed. It always focuses on my peer with the most privileges, who white, male, cisgender, straight, etc. Like, it getting old. And I didn't know at first until when you do mention about race particular, they get an ick and they want to fight you in the social media comment. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. When you try to spread awareness that we need to work on the issue, but like, why you make a deal about it? I'm like, come on. Like, yes, we disabled people, and you were correct, but not everybody, not just dealing with the ableist part. There's some that had to deal with racism, sexism, lateral ableism. Some deal with classism. Some deal with um, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and some other discrimination against other religion. I'm not sure what they are. I just know the main two: anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I don't know what other discrimination toward other religion. Okay, getting people from different country, different languages, different culture, discriminate. It's like, how we supposed to address all the issue? And not everybody just deal with disability. And I meant, like, ever since I came active, it's a whole lot of incidents, like, of course, sexism, racism, ableism. I can't remember. But I do remember one time, like a few years ago, and I guess it was during a time that I guess something to do with immigration at the time, and I remember, I guess, one of the lead, coordinator or leader that doing that coordinate thing, event thing, I don't remember, and they said so from disability space, they said Islamophobia stuff, and they keep forgetting that those who in that community also have disabilities, and I don't know what happened to that person, but yeah, that was something. And it just made me think about all the years that, why we need to talk about, you know, addressing the intersectionality and addressing all kind of issues, because, like, how are we supposed to, like, represent everybody? We only represent the few, which is wild. And, like, it don't make no sense, like, why we do this. And yeah, it's weird. And yeah, I just don't understand, like, why people do things like that. not addressing the intersectionality stuff. That could be why so many, different movements dressing a particular identity, always leaving out the intersectionality part of it. And I noticed it a lot. And like, not maybe not at first I was younger, but as I got into the activism, people felt the intersectionality part every freaking time. It's like how you put address all the issue. I mean, I ain't perfect myself, but it's a pattern. Don't matter which community I'm part of, it's always the intersectionality issue. Not everybody gonna feel hurt one way or the other. And like again, especially when in disability spaces, like especially autism spaces, like it's overwhelmingly white and every time want our community to like be better, like hey, we need to address this kind of issue in our community, and they want to argue with me. What? Why y'all want to argue with me? I'm just addressing the issue always there, and like I had to go back and forth with these people, like blah blah blah. You make a thing about racism. Stop talking about it. We all autistic, and you incorrect. But baby, not everybody like you, baby. We don't have that privileges like you. Look at me. I don't have that kind of privileges. I had to fight even harder for existing. And like, and that's why I kind of left the autistic community 3 years ago because they don't want to address the intersectionality issue. They want to check their privileges and not checking liberation, and that's the problem. And fun about that, um, during the Web Your Voice conference, I did a what I did? Yeah, I did my 10-minute talk to talk about Black Autistic Pride, and celebrate being Black and autistic and addressing the intersectionality issue. With if I be honest with y'all, I never thought about creating a hashtag. I would create the hashtag during the autism awareness accepting month, and then while we're doing that, I learned that there are lack of representation of Black autistic people and other racialized autistic people. And I thought creating the hashtag Black Autistic Pride. It was Autistic Black Pride, and it was like I created that hashtag back in 2018 when I started my advocacy work. I got some heat for it. Why are you dressing that? Blah blah blah. I'm like, Lord mercy. I got some heat, y'all. I was mad as hell. I'm like, nah, forget it. But I had not been using my head to that much. I was so busy with life, dealing with my mental health, all that jazz, and going to school and working. It took much of my time. And and also I some give a summary, like why, Black autistic pride need to be shared, and also talk about the issue within the autistic community being whitewashed because like it need to be said, and like it need to be said like it very whitewashed. It very whitewashed. It always talk about always focus on the white autistic person perspective that leave out Black autistic people and other Muslim people to the wolves. Like it getting old and to be like that ever since I became an activist for 6 years. It's still the same. And ever since I left the autistic community 3 years ago, I focused on the Black autistic experiences. I, was a speaker from Autism Black conference back in April, be a president and be on the autistic adult panel to talk about what it like to be Black and autistic. And, give myself opportunity to address the issue within the autistic community on podcasts, or if people want to, or I see people do a documentary or wherever, I will make sure that they include people like me because I don't want autism to be fucking continue to be whitewashed. If people give me an opportunity, I would do it because I'm tired of autism being whitewashed. I'm tired. It like it's tiring, and I'm glad that Web Your Voice is created for Black disabled people. I'm happy because it need to be said because I'm tired of seeing the same narrative every year. It's like I'm tired. I just want to exist in peace and like we definitely address the intersectionality issue. Like we need to because like it can't be continuing in the future. It needs to change, but as long as our peers with privileges within the disability community continue to be an a-hole and not listening, our community will be divided and people will be on their zone and like I'm doing my prepared 3 years catering for Black autistic people and Black no distinct, even though I tend to be focused on Black autistic people. But baby, that why I create my own community on GViva app. Talk about the Black no distinct perspective. Talk about intersectionality and disability and race, and talk about it like it don't cater to us. It need change, and I have it that Vanessa Thompson create that event, and I'm surprised she asked me that, do you want to be part of it? I was like, yo, I would do it, shit. you know, based on my view and stuff. Now it seems like my work it tend to cater to Black disabled people, more specifically Black autistic people, cause we need to be heard. And it made me think about like Melissa David, who was the founder of Autism Black, that we never the focus. We were never the focus at all when it comes to research, nothing. The, we not the focus. It's always the perspective of the global minority, or aka white people. They always focus on them. They never bow. They never meant for us. And that way they put it on the side. And that way you see so many disparity when it comes to getting resources, healthcare, housing, etc. Okay, it's why so many disparity everywhere because they're not focusing on us. They're not. That's why we had to create our own spaces to make sure we are heard and seen, and people with privilege and be wondering why you create this space for only this super group people, blah blah blah. We try to tell y'all to clue us, but y'all time again don't want to clue us. So who fault? We tried to get y'all to communicate with us and include us, but y'all don't want to do the work. So we doing the work for you. So we create our own spaces, just like I did, create my own spaces and talk about what I like to be me and go on an event that caters to Black disabled people. It does. It needs to be said. We need to do the work. And we cannot, you know, especially though we're putting, they need to check their biases because we can't be doing this forever. If y'all want to wanted to work with y'all, you have to get your BS together. Cause who has time for your ignorant? And you want to be our compliment, please do better. Like that'll make an excuse to why you don't want to do better. And I'm happy that Ramp Your Voice is about to tell the truth. I'm tired of lying. I'm tired of whitewash version of disability and also autism. I'm tired of seeing the same BS every year. It needs to change. I'm tired of seeing the same narrative. We need new perspective. New perspective. Not those with privileges. Of course, their voices heard need to be heard, of course. But they cannot be the only one speaking about disability or more specifically autism. We just need to do better. Better. And not worse. And that's what I'm gonna say on that. And of course, now I had to get myself ready for NABA convention in Las Vegas next week. So I'm happy about that. And I'll probably go talk about it 2 weeks from now and talk about my experiences. And I hope everybody have a good night. Bye, y'all.